Welcome back, guys. I just wanted to thank anybody who's actually already started following the channel. Um, Means a lot. Totally unnecessary, though. Enough pandering about that. I wanted to talk to you guys about a cheap budget tech that 90% of casual decks can use. And according to the pricing I just got done looking up, currently, it's going to run you just under about $10 to run this. And it's pretty uniform in every deck. And you guys have already seen the title of the video, so you guys know that we're talking about number 39 Utopia. Now, what makes this awesome is, and excuse the eccentric dual center I'm going to use today, due to Master Rule 5, we do not need to play to either side of the dual center anymore. We're allowed to play the Fusion, Synchro, and Xyz back into the main zones again. So, that's very good. Another thing that makes Utopia very good is he's very vanilla with how you make him. You just need to stack any 2 level 4 characters. And like I said, there is just an overwhelming amount of decks that can populate these cards without going too far out of their way. And even his own effects make him pretty standout. So once you stack your 2 cards, anytime a player's monster declares an attack, you can detach 1 material card, instantly negate the attack. It's not a hard once per turn. He's only got 1 real drawback, and that is if he is selected as an attack target while he does not have any Xyz material underneath him, pop goes the weasel and he's gone. Now, to show just how easy he is, especially in the current meta or the game state that we're in right now, spells are very heavily played. So you can easily use cards like Summoner Monk. And Summoner Monk's effect is literally when this is, while this card is face up on the field, it can't be tributed, so whatever. But if it is normal flip summon, change it to defense position, so it's immediate defender, which is fine because it's 800 by 16. This makes more sense for his stats. And also, once per turn, you may discard a spell card. Special summon a level 4 monster from the deck. It can't attack this turn, but real quick, you'll just Summoner Monk, play, click, activate effect. You can go ahead and grab another Summoner Monk, stack your 2 cards, instant Utopia. Now, Utopia by himself, you can get this card anywhere from a quarter to $2, depending on if you want a common, if you want some foil. And I think the most cost-effective version of him is not the one I'm showing you. It's actually the alternate art from the dual power set, where there was all the heroes cards from the 6 series, all with new stance arts. And I think that's the one that's a quarter right now, but that's fine. Now, in what I think is the correct release order, the next card we want to talk about is a spell card called Double or Nothing. Now, this is a quick play, so it can be activated from your hand during your own turn, or, of course, you can set it face down on the field and use it later. The main effect here is when a monster's attack is negated, target the monster. It can make a second attack during the battle phase, and if it does, its attack gets doubled during the damage step. But only the damage step, which is fine. And this would allow Utopia to, again, peel 1 material card, send that card to the discard pile real quick, activate your Double or Nothing, target Utopia, and when he attacks the second time, he will be an astounding 5k. Now, at 5k, he is able to crash cards like Obelisk the Tormentor, the Sacred Beast monsters, Hamon and Raviel, are all 4,000s, and uniquely ties with the 5-headed Dragon Fusion monster, which says it can't be killed by battle unless it is a light type that's fighting it. Light type. Sacred Beasts might be the only one of those that you're actually going to see. I just want to demonstrate, that is how powerful it can get. Now, what makes Double or Nothing very good is it doesn't say that it has to be Utopia. So when you do your effect, you could use another card that's in the budget realm these days, the Blackluster Soldier Envoy at the beginning, who already has the effect that when this attacking card destroys an opponent's monster by battle, it may make a second attack. So we can crash a monster, go for our second attack. Utopia did his peel effect. We can activate the double or nothing, giving him actually a third attack. And this will allow you to not have to attack directly in a row. So then you could use your Utopia to maybe get another monster off the field, because double or nothing will allow that to be direct attack. It does not say it has to be against a monster. So in this instance, you're going to be able to do like $6 grand direct, which is actually a very stunning game blow. And again, you'd never have to actually use Utopia's effect to negate Utopia. So if you're playing other decks like Lightsworn, which again can populate level 4s pretty rapidly, you can use Judgment Dragon. Again, starts at 3k, ends out at 6k, and that's a good push for game. Let's take him off the field now, because that's really all he was there for. Now, double or nothing got better, because rather than just using Utopia during the dual power set, and maybe I should have said this first, double or nothing is as low as about 50 cents. So right now we're like less than $1 for 2 cards out of the cards that I'm going to feature today, because I'm not featuring, the tech characters. But the highest price character that you're going to be looking at is Utopia Double. Now, number 39 Utopia Double has a bunch of crazy effects and warrants the like $5 to $6 you may spend on a single copy of this card. And again, I think his only release right now is from the dual power set. Now, again, it's generically 2 level 4s. So, Summoner Monk loops. Our next thing that we're going to be able to do is as a quick effect. So we can do this during the opponent's turn if we wish. We can detach 1 material from the card, and this will allow us to get double or nothing out of the deck. So we're already, preloading the hand. And then the next move that this will allow you to do is then special summon from the extra deck 1 Utopia Xyz monster, except Utopia Double, by using this card and all of its current materials to generate the next card. So we can go back into that original, very cheap, very effective, very popular Utopia. And additionally, if we do that, the attack does become double, with the restriction that it may not attack the opponent directly. So you can only use this effect once per turn, which is fine. Again, you're not going to want to do this multiple times. If you did, you'd have to dedicate more deck space. Usually when I play to Utopia Double, I only play the single double or nothing. But this will allow you to have a 5k Utopia now, that when it negates its own attack off the next material, you can actually push for 10 grand into the opponent's monster. And again, there's a lot of instances where this is considered a game swing, and I think this is mainly where Utopia Double is going to derive his price tag, which is fine. The next bit doesn't actually involve double or nothing. So let's just go to Utopia. If you're down on the game real quick, something that you could do is use Utopia the same way that you'd used double to go to Utopia, to create S39 Utopia Prime. Now, Prime is like $1.25 maybe, and then goes up from there. And I believe he had two print runs. I'm using the Mega Pack 16, and I think that's the one that's like the $1. Normally it's 3 level 4 lights. However, you can Xyz summon using 139 Utopia. You control his material. Materials attached to it become materials for this card. If your opponent's life is 3,000 points or higher than yours, you may detach all 3 materials that you have on this card and pay your life down to 10. Now, when you do this, you destroy as many special summon monsters as your opponent controls as possible, which is usually like a board wipe. And when you do, you banish those cards. And then for every card that was banished, you're going to go ahead and deal 300 points to your opponent. That's cool. But if we played Prime off of double, Prime is actually going to, because it is a Utopia Xyz monster, be at 5,020 points, which is a little awkward. And again, I think if you put your opponent in a deficit of 20 hit points, that's essentially saying that somebody died by paper cut, which is, again, pretty funny. But ultimately unnecessary. This is one way to use him. This is not the way that I use him. When I use Utopia Prime, I'm using him as a step up to the final card on my list, number S39, Utopia the Lightning. Now, this guy's had a varied amount of print runs. He was, I think, a Duelist Pack Kaiba. I think he had a nice OTS Ultimate Rare, which was fantastic. But I'm using the Battle of Legends Armageddon one. Again, coming off of building the appliancers, I had a couple boxes of those boosters. And I ended up pulling a couple copies of this guy. And what makes him amazing is he's also very budget at right around $1 out of this set. So it's not breaking the bank, but it's like getting an effect that usually was a competitive players or somebody who has a larger budget, that they would be playing this card. So it's good to see him come down in price. Now, he's normally 3 level 5 lights, or use 1 rank 4 Utopia Xyz monster that you control as material, again, transferring materials. He himself cannot be used as material for an Xyz summon, which stops you from further stacking or going back into things like Prime, stuff like that. Now, if this card battles, your opponent cannot activate cards or effects until the end of the damage step. Real quick, that means no spells, no traps, and no monsters. So, if they're going to effect veil him, they're going to have to do that during a main phase, of course. But battle traps. You can't stop the direct attack from this guy if you had Battle Fader or Swift Scarecrow. If you had a battle hand trap, like the Machina's got Res Avenger, Blackwings have Kalut the Moonshadow, and I think the most famous one is actually the light type attribute character, Honest. None of these effects can activate either. So that in and of itself makes this card really, something that you should seek. And with $1 price tag right now, it's not going to break your bank. It's not going to hurt you. It's less than a soda pop. So that is fantastic. Now, once per chain during the damage step, if it battles an opponent's monster, and that wording is very important because this doesn't mean that you are attacking. You may be attacked. If you have a material underneath it that is an Xyz monster with the name Utopia, you can pitch 2 material cards. And by doing so, you will double this, not double it, but change this card's attack to 5,000 during that damage calculation only. Now, to do it that way means that you weren't going to go ahead and use double into it, even though you could, and it would be a blank 5,000. The only problem is, at that rate, you're not attacking directly, and you may want to push for game with him. And additionally, you would actually retain all your materials. You wouldn't be limited. But that's the point of me using the Prime, is because I can go to Utopia, then Prime, then Lightning. I have 4 materials. 2 are Utopia names. I have 2 shots. 1 offensive, 1 defensive. So, I think Utopia deserves a little bit of credit. He's a very good card. Again, you're looking at 25 cents and up. You're looking at 50 cents. You're looking at $1.25. You're looking at maybe another $1.25. And doubles our high price ticket item at 5 to 6. So I hope that this helps. I hope that you guys try to play this around a little bit. And I'm not the type of guy to tell you and not show you. So my next deck profile is going to utilize the entire Utopia engine. And with that, you guys have a great day, alright? Later.